and today I'm talking about drugs. Um, Drugs are interesting. I have personally never been drunk. I've never smoked. I don't really plan to, but I don't know. I don't necessarily have a problem with drugs in a sense of if other people do them, but I do think it's very easy to get caught up in them. I've seen countless people at my school, really good friends, just go down the wrong path. One of my friends, he was he was a really close friend of mine in middle school, elementary. I met him in kindergarten, I think, first grade, and up until eighth grade, we were best friends. And then in the summer between middle school and high school, he just instantly became a different person, and it was because of drugs. And I just stopped talking to him because I didn't like the person he became. And you might be thinking, oh, this guy's such a fucking loser. Oh, he doesn't do drugs. How's he gonna tell me his opinion on it? I'm not talking about whether or not I like drugs. I'm talking about whether or not people should do drugs and what I think about their effect on society. Well, first of all, the only drug I think is okay. Well, the only three drugs: alcohol, caffeine, and marijuana. And this is excluding Ritalin, drugs that people need to live or need to function. The only narcotics that are okay in my mind are marijuana and alcohol. And just like anything else, water, fruit, it's only okay in moderation. Personally, I don't think you should use drugs, except for caffeine maybe, if you need to drink coffee. You should not need drugs more than once or twice a week. In fact, I don't think you should need drugs at all. If you need drugs to be happy, you should probably not use them as a crutch for something. Because, I mean, even thinking of purely pragmatic thoughts, it is not cost effective to buy an ounce of weed every day. That's just not practical. It's much better to get a therapist and see them once a week. Because, I don't know the prices and everything, but I would assume it's much cheaper to talk to a friend, which is free, or a parent or a teacher or your counselor or a librarian, anything, or even somebody online, or an AA meeting or anything like that. It's much cheaper to do that, if not free, than to buy drugs and just use that as a way to seclude yourself from your problems. That's just not okay. If you're using drugs as an escape, that's not okay. If you're using them as a supplement, however, that I think is okay. If you're gonna do drugs in a non-destructive way, in your house with one or two friends, and you're just gonna ride vibes and not do anything stupid, not do anything illegal other than the drugs, I think that's okay. As long as it's in a controlled environment where no one can get hurt, nothing bad can happen, I think that's okay. If you're gonna do that once a week, once a month, that's cool. I don't really care. But when it gets to the point that it affects me, one of my close friends, I think one of their parents got hit by a drunk driver, then their other parent went out, got drunk, and hit somebody else. So their life is ruined because of alcohol. And, there's nothing they can do about it. And I don't know if they're drinking. I really hope not, because they're a dear friend of mine. But their life is ruined. And I really hope they don't go down the path of their parents, or their one parent that hit the person. And I don't want anybody else to go down that path either. And the best way to do that is just talk to people, or make YouTube videos, or pick up graphic design like I did, or whatever it is, something to distract you from your problems. Or, actually, not to distract you from your problems. If you want to fix your problems, that is the optimal way to do it. But that you can't always fix that. Like my friend who both of their parents are now not around because of alcohol. And there's nothing they can really do about that. So they have to find help, I think. And I think if you are to the point where you need drugs to not be sad all the time, you should find help. You should not need drugs to feel happy. If you're happy and you like want to be on drugs, that's cool. Just be safe about it. Like Rastas in general, I haven't read up on like their beliefs or anything, but I know that like they don't do marijuana in a destructive way, but like there are those people out there that will do marijuana and then go out and do something like ridiculously insane. That's like, why in the fuck would you do that? Like there's no reason that you would ever, like there's no reason a sober person that's in the right mind would ever think to do. And like I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but there's just so much dumb things as a consequence. So many dumb things that can come as a consequence, whether directly from the drugs or from getting caught or doing something when you're on them or saying something or anything that can get you in trouble when drugs. In my opinion, that it's just not worth it. Like the little happiness that you feel right now is not worth any consequences that can come later. One thing my wrestling coach says is, or one thing they talk about is the difference between fun and satisfaction. Fun is like hitting a trick shot. That's fun. Hanging out with friends, that's fun. But accomplishing things, winning a state championship, losing a bunch of weight, inventing something, getting married, whatever it is, that's satisfying. It's not like, it's not just fun, because you're getting something out of it. And that's really when, like, if you can find enough satisfying things, you don't need drugs to cloud that. So, anyway, this has been my value. Don't do drugs and have safe sex. See ya.